Yeah, let's get started. So appreciate everyone joining. As you know, we do this monthly just to review our main objectives and the things that we've shipped in the last month, and then move towards outlining what we're going to be shipping in the following month. A ton has happened since our last roundtable. It seems like it's been so long ago. In fact, it's only been a little over a month. And so today we're going to be recapping all of those priorities on the month scale. I'll be handing it over to Leo for a specific product update around the Bag.win product and ecosystem, and then we'll have Spicy Prawn update everyone on the exciting Bag City Casino product that you all will grow to love very soon, that we've been working on for the last several months. Then we'll cover operations from Ryan, along with data, et cetera, and then ended up with a marketing and growth update from 50 Sat. And then, of course, finally, we'll open up to community Q&A. Next slide. So before we get started, just wanted to review bigger picture, our objectives in Q3 2024. As you guys know, this is the last month of Q3, so it's always good to evaluate kind of what we set out to do at the start of the quarter and kind of see if we're tracking along the right path. And I would say we definitely are. Our three main priorities at the start of Q3 were to iterate with Bag.win, the new mobile optimized product, and integrate a wide assortment of third-party games via our aggregator. And I would say we've done an amazing job with delivering on this main priority. And we continue to add a bunch more games and a bunch more features on that product to make it even easier to use and experience all the different games, and find the ones that you like the most. And so on that note, I would say that we've made some incredible progress on that first pillar for Q3, and Leo will be giving an update, more granular update on kind of the specifics around the progress there. The second piece was to deliver a differentiated 3D poker experience that captures the feeling of playing in a home game, which is our Bag City poker product. And I think we've made some incredible progress there. I think it's around like a V5 or V6 at this point. We've shipped a ton of new features to make it even more engaging, and we have a ton more features on the way, including even opening it up to be able to walk around in a 3D environment, basically delivering our own virtual environment that rivals the feeling of being in a real casino, that delivers a much smoother user experience compared to our proof of concepts that we've been able to deliver in the prior years inside Decentraland. And so given that we built this product all in-house, we have full control over user experience and really get to focus on the right things to optimize for that flow and for our game. So really looking forward to the update from Spicy. He has a lot of exciting timelines to share with you all during his update. And then finally, arguably the most important piece of our objectives in Q3 was to improve our onboarding and account funding mechanisms to a point where we're confident in spending large money on growth campaigns. And as you guys know, in the past, we are a bit handicapped in this regard because of the massive blockers that we had in our onboarding funnel, given if someone didn't have any knowledge of a crypto wallet or crypto in general, they basically would find it impossible to use our products. And as you guys know, this was a huge issue for us. And, so that's the reason why we spent, the last several weeks and months carving out a much smoother onboarding experience focused around email, pretty universal method of logging into applications. And so it was great to be able to deliver that last month. And then, of course, we're moving to address the second piece of this blocker, which is basically to fund your account. And so there's a ton of different ways that we're trying to add to our product to make it even easier to top up your account with real money. And a lot of those methods kind of revolve around what fiat deposits, based on local jurisdictions, as well as easier crypto deposits. But something that we're really excited to ship tomorrow is what we're kind of planning on, is the ability for friends to just invite their friends into the app and gift them funds directly from their balance, kind of a transfer between one account to another. And we feel that this is really powerful because we've heard feedback from users being able to trying to onboard their friends, like by hosting a poker, like a private table in our Bag City Poker app, and having issues with each one of the players being um, required to deposit their own funds, and some of them perhaps not being familiar with crypto. And so I think that's going to be a huge step in the right direction there. And then, of course, on this release as well, we have a big feature around bonus codes that we are really excited to get live, that basically empowers all of the streamers that we have showcasing our product to drive additional engagement with their posts on social media, given they're able to give away different codes that correspond to claiming a bonus. And so while we've made some pretty incredible progress on these three pillars in Q3 up to now, given we still have 1 month left, I do think we can make even more progress on these three items. And I'm really excited to discuss that more on a roundtable today. But yeah, I think overall, let's see, next slide. Overall, we have essentially reviewed the August 2024 recap in the last slide. We've been able to improve UX of the email sign-in and app UI to make it function and feel like a normal mobile application that people use. We've been able to add a ton of games via SoftSwiss to expand the offering on Bag.win. We've started hosting stream poker nights, specifically around IC stream that 50 will update you go on as well. And then, of course, we've been able to reduce our spending as a DAO via reducing some of the incentives that we had for leaderboard on bet volume and rake leaderboard that have improved our DAO profitability week over week, such that we've been able to buy back some tokens at the pretty hefty discount that we're currently valued at on the public market. So it's been great to see some positive P&Ls on this last week to be able to buy back some bag. Moving on to the next slide. So going into the remaining piece, the last slide for September 2024. As I said, we're further improving our onboarding with gift funds, bonus codes, fiat integrations, easy crypto deposits, and more. We're looking to launch Bag City Casino beta, and Spice will go into that into a bit more detail on his update. But really excited to expand that 3D offering because it really is a differentiated product. But I would say, while we have made some incredible progress on breaking down the barriers for onboarding on Bag.win, as well as making some incredible progress on the features and the different things you can do within our 3D environment, such as walk around, play slots, et cetera, that are coming next week. The thing that I'm really most excited for is to be able to leverage these new features to drive growth. And that's something, as I said at the start of my update, that we really haven't been able to do effectively quite yet, and effectively and confidently spend money on growth. But I think that's changing, with this update essentially, and we'll continue to improve over the next month or two as we push live some of these initiatives. So I think it's a huge turning point for our product and our ecosystem because we can actually confidently grow our users and revenue. But anyways, I just wanted to make that point during our update. I will hand it over to Leo for a more granular product update.
Thank you, Miles, and great to be back on another roundtable with a fancy new deck. So yeah, today I'll review some of the big product updates we've made since our last roundtable. I'll then discuss this upcoming release in a little more detail. We're hoping to get it live to prod pretty soon, and then we'll jump into some of our future roadmap stuff and talk through some of our next up priorities. So, what we accomplished since we last got on one of these roundtables. So a big focus has been just making onboarding as seamless as possible, and so we've added a new email sign-in capabilities across our app. So now users can register and sign in without ever connecting a wallet, which has been a big hurdle in really scaling our product. The new registration and sign-in experience is now just much more streamlined for all types of users, whether you're Web3 native or not. Users still have the ability to sign in with their wallet on desktop, as you guys have probably noticed. But if they prefer to do so and without a wallet and get registered all just through email, that is now all possible. And really excited about removing more hurdles in our onboarding experience. And you'll see in a couple more slides what we'll additionally do to make that onboarding even easier. Secondly, Miles touched on it, but we made a massive improvement just to the overall UX of our app. With all the introductions of those third-party games, we realized the initial design we had was just not suited for highlighting all those games. So we've moved to a more standard tab-based structure where you can easily access all of our games, your balances, your rewards, and the new games homepage just does a much better job of allowing users to navigate our games catalog. And we've been hearing some great feedback on the new designs, and I'm just really excited to have gotten this live. It's been a big effort, and I think it's looks just significantly better. We also made some updates to our leaderboard. We now combine a user's volume from both Metaverse and Bag.win into one leaderboard. So now, no matter where you play, all counts towards your volume leaderboard score. We also added prize amounts on the leaderboard to just make it as clear as possible to know how much you are competing for and what you'll win depending on the place that you finish on the leaderboard. And then finally, this was a much requested feature, but the time bank feature has gone live on both Bag City and Bag.win Poker. This was just a much needed feature that has been in the backlog for a while, and I'm glad that we were able to get it live for all users. So those are some of the bigger initiatives. I'll now dive into upcoming features. So we have a release that's currently being tested by QA right now. It should be going live, we're hoping, sometime this week. And as Miles mentioned, growth is just a massive area of focus for us. And this release has a lot of new features to help tackle that area. So starting with gift funds, we are enabling the ability for any KYC user to send funds directly to another player from their balance. This will just make it way easier to help onboard your friends who are maybe not as familiar with MetaMask and don't want to go through the hurdles of getting a Web3 wallet set up and depositing that way. And so this will allow you to, from your casino balance, send funds over to a friend all within the app. Very seamless. On top of that, we're offering bonus codes now. So we'll have the ability through one of our internal tools to create a list of one-time use bonus codes that can be redeemed for bonus funds. As we dive deeper into partnering with streamers, this was a big ask from them to just help drive new users to our platform, more engagement on their streams. So streamers will now be able to offer bonus codes to their viewers, which will create more engagement on their streams, hopefully bring more eyes to their streams, and just help convert more of their viewers into actual Bag.win players. And then referral links. So we made some massive improvements to our referral link experience, along with moving all of our referral links to a Bag.win URL, where right now today they're only done through decentral.games URLs. So this new experience, along with gift funds and bonus codes, will hopefully just supercharge our growth efforts and start driving way more players into our Bag.win experience. And then finally, we added gameplay history directly into Bag.win, so you don't have to jump between decentral.games and Bag.win to view your gameplay history. It'll all live in one place, and this is part of our effort to make sure that we just have one clear destination that we drive to, which is our Bag.win application. So very exciting updates coming up, but as you all know, we have much bigger plans ahead. So I'll dive into the future roadmap work. We've broken up the initiatives that we're tackling into three categories: onboarding improvements, engagement, and then Bag City. So starting with onboarding, as I've said, we've already made some massive strides by making it easier to register and sign in, but there's just way more to do, especially as it relates to topping up your casino balance to make that onboarding as seamless as possible. So we're in the process right now of talking to some providers to land on the best way to offer fiat integration so you can top up your account with credit card. We're also working on a new deposit option that will allow users to send crypto to a specified address that will also top up your balance. This will enable users who have crypto maybe on centralized exchanges to easily top up their balance by just sending to an address. And we plan to support many different currencies, chains that will basically allow you to top up your USD balance on the platform. This is just another huge unlock for making it as simple as possible to add funds and start playing. So really excited about the new ways that users will be able to top up their accounts. We're also planning on moving to a new KYC provider that just has a way cleaner, slicker, better experience and just better integration methods in general. Along with moving to this new KYC provider, we're also lowering the requirements for when you need to KYC. So in this new world, you'll be able to withdraw up to 1K of total withdrawals before being forced to KYC. If withdrawing without KYC, there will be up to 1 business day processing fee. But this will allow users to withdraw up to a certain limit without actually needing to KYC, which is also, we've heard, been a hurdle for some new users who want to test out the platform, but or maybe don't want to immediately KYC. And so if users do want instant withdrawals and to not have that 1 business day processing fee, they will always be able to KYC at any time, and their withdrawals will be instant as it is today. But this does offer a way for users to be able to test out the platform a little, play around a little, and still withdraw without needing to go through a full KYC experience. And then finally, Telegram apps. These Telegram apps have really started to explode. Not sure if anyone has played any Telegram apps before, but the ecosystem is growing and has just millions of active users in some of these apps. And so we're looking on offering Bag.win within this Telegram app ecosystem. This makes onboarding even easier than our current email login for those Telegram users. And so the combination of these 4 features, from making it easier to top up your account, making it easier to withdraw and go through KYC, and then also just making it easier to create an account and start playing within the Telegram ecosystem, we believe is going to have a massive impact in just making onboarding easier, our ability to scale and continue to grow as a platform. So really excited about all of that. Our next priority, as I mentioned up top, is engagement. So how do we get, obviously onboarding is one component that we need to make sure we're bringing more users top of funnel. But once they're in there, how do we get users playing more on our platform? And so we have 3 initiatives that we're going after right now. We'll be adding a dynamic carousel to your homepage, which will show your recently played games. This will allow users to easily jump back into their favorite games and not have to go sifting through the catalog each time to jump into the games that they've found and love to play. We're also looking to adding a new original game to Bag.win SNGs. For you arcade players, you're familiar with it. But SNGs on Bag.win will be real money SNG tournaments where you'll be able to enter with your casino balance, and prizes will be distributed to your casino balance. The beauty of this feature is we'll be able to combine player liquidity with our arcade product, which already has active games going on at all times. And so this should just increase the amount of SNG players, decrease the wait times before an SNG starts, and adds just a new fun game mode for our Bag.win product. And then finally, we're working on building casino competitions like we have in Metaverse right now directly into our Bag.win product. These will work similarly to our Metaverse competitions, but you'll be able to compete with playing the games on Bag.win, which has been a request from the community and something that I personally am also very excited about as well. And then finally, the third big product priority is the incredible Bag City experience, which I'm now going to hand off to the famous Spicy Prawn to take you through the initiatives in that space.
Thank you, Leo. Hey, everybody. I'll go over some of the Bag City Poker updates and then dive in a bit to the casino experience that Leo mentioned as well. So, over the last few weeks, we've continued polishing the experience and working through a few issues for the Bag City Poker mobile experience. Currently, we're in the final stages of testing and optimization, and expect to go live with this very soon. Definitely looking forward to more people being able to check out Bag City, especially those who are mobile first players. You'll be able to play in both portrait and landscape mode and retain essentially all of the features currently available in Bag City, such as text and voice chat, emotes, and everything else that comes with that. And yeah, we're really targeting, the next week or so to launch that. Following that, we have the Hot Hand Progressive Jackpot. We've made a lot of progress on this and are entering kind of the initial stages of testing. I lightly touched on this in the last roundtable, but I'll dive into a few specific points of what to expect from this new feature. So first and foremost, the Hot Hand Progressive Jackpot will be available for all cash games, with the exception of the Decentraland Casino. This includes both 2D and Bag City, along with all available blind levels. 10% of the rake taken from any given hand across all cash games will be added to the jackpot pool. Um, Players will be able to win a variable amount of the jackpot depending on what blind level they are playing when they hit the jackpot. So, for example, players in 2.5 would be able to claim 100% of the current jackpot pool, while players on 25-cent, 50-cent table would be able to claim 10% of the total pool. And the winnable amount for each blind level will be reflected accurately in the UI, so you'll always know exactly what's up for grabs if you end up getting lucky and hitting the current hot hand during your game. We designed it in this way in order really to have the maximum amount of contribution to the jackpot and grow it as much as possible. And to also be sure that this kind of extra layer of spiciness in the game is available and fair for all cash players, regardless of what table you're playing on. And as I mentioned, we are kind of in the initial testing phases of this feature, but we are aiming to go live with this sometime in the next couple weeks, and really looking forward to bringing a new fun mechanic to our poker experience in both Bag City and 2D. Beyond that, some of you may have seen some teasers on X of the Bag City Casino lately that we've been working on. We've made some really great progress over the past few months with this, and I'm really happy with how it's taking shape. It's super fun and interactive. The performance is really great, and currently we have the slots integration in and working great, and we've began working on the poker experience as well. For the initial beta of this, we'll have both slots and poker playable in the casino, along with social features like chat, being able to change your avatar from inside the casino, and more. For this, we are really targeting the next week or so to get the initial beta live in production, and get everybody in and trying it out and playing it and iterating more on that from there. Following kind of this initial beta, we'll continue focusing on integrating more games such as blackjack, plinko, and roulette, along with additional games beyond that over time. And while the slots are using the same third-party games that you'll find on our 2D interface, the other games will be more of an in-house version that we'll make available for Bag City Casino. And with that, I think I can hand it over to 50, that I believe has some teasers for us to see.
Yes, sir. Miles dropped this video on Twitter and in the Bag.win channel, but I'll just play it here for a little sneak peek at the Bag City lobby.
Yeah, I don't know if Spicy wants to narrate all these features, but we've since added a ton of emotes, as you can see on the bottom right, where you can basically click to dance, and each dance move kind of corresponds to a musical track that plays. during the emote. So it's quite an upgrade compared to some of our emotes that we made into Decentraland. And we can control even sound effects like that. Right now, it's showing the slot machines, as Spicy mentioned, where we basically we're able to utilize our SawSwiss integration to paste a iframe of the respective slot machine within the 3D slot. So that's a kind of a unique new experience for slots in 3D in kind of a social setting. I don't know if you want to go through the whole video, but Spicy, you have any other specific features you would want to cover during this? Dances are pretty awesome.
Yeah, the dances are super fun. The slots integration is really smooth and easy to play and fun to play, which is definitely a point of emphasis with everything with Bag City Casino. Kind of knowing the difficulty of not only onboarding but playing in the Decentraland Casino for a lot of folks. So, really emphasizing the focus on being easy to hop in, being easy to play, interact with people. We'll have some fun NPCs and other things to interact with as well over time. And so, yeah, definitely keep driving that, and excited to really just keep developing it out and making it, without a doubt, the best 3D casino experience out there with the social features and everything like that coming. So.
Cool. Now we have Ryan can give an update on operations.
All right, thank you. That is a hard act to follow. I know as we're halfway through, we'll try and go quickly and leave plenty of time for you, 50, and for questions. So firstly, on the volume front, in August, we did 10.4 million euros in volume. That was exactly flat month over month versus July. We had more gold to give away in August, as well as third-party games, but we also significantly decreased rewards, and by doing that, increased our profitability. So the breakdown was 3.3 million euros, so about a third, to third-party games, and then 800,000 euros on poker, which is down month over month in volume, mostly due to the significant decrease in the rewards there. So definitely thinking about ways to improve our poker player liquidity. Out of that 10 million euros volume, the cumulative profits in the casino, after all the giveaways, cashback, bonuses, wearable rewards, was only 10K euros, but a lot of those changes that we made were right at the end of the month. So the last week came in at plus 13. Just as a reminder, we talked about some of these at the last roundtable. We merged the Bag.win and Decentraland bet volume leaderboards, saving $2,000 a week. We reduced the cash poker rates by roughly $1,000 a week, and then cashback and referral bonus rates were updated as well. With the much higher gold amounts, that's been compensating, and I would say keeping volume flat, but from here, at a better place of profitability, now it's time to try and grow. So a lot of what 50 will talk about will be on the marketing side. Otherwise, I don't want to, just glaze over it, but we did get silver last month, which was huge. It allowed us to roughly 3x the gold rates. And we also got permission from the Blast team to smooth out the rewards month to month. So that was what we were doing during phase one, is that we didn't have to give away all of it that came in August by August 31st. We could actually continue to let people earn month to month. And as a result of getting that, we felt comfortable keeping the gold earning on over the last few days. So that should be very helpful, right? Like you would rather give out like 8,000 gold per day for 30 days than like 16,000 gold per day for 15 days and like zero for the other 15. Just like, at least in theory, you're probably better off if you're providing those incentives 24/7 every day. So we're trying to smooth it out that way. The other point on gold, in case you missed it, is that we're giving out about 10% of the gold allocation to people that are holding bag. You can be holding it on Blast or mainnet, but you do have to have interacted with the smart contract at some point to be eligible for gold in the first place. So interact with the smart contract on Blast. And you also have to have played in the last week to qualify for the weekly drops. With that, I will hand it off to 50, who can talk a bit about all the great work with streamers and some of the other content and marketing initiatives.
GM, everyone. Just a reminder, you can plug some questions in the chat and we'll answer at the end for a community Q&A. There's also a form in the announcements channel if you want to submit a question anonymously. All right, so go through some content first. For content, we're still continuing to focus on the Bag.win X account. The reach is growing about 30% month over month, and engagement is growing an average of 240% month over month. So we're seeing good progress with that versus focusing on the DG account. I've been doing lots of engagement posts lately, which people seem to be enjoying. A lot of questions and guessing games. We've also updated our branding to be sleeker, less memes based on some community feedback there. On X as well, we've been running ads in Argentina using some free ad credits. As a verified organization, we get free ad credits to use every month. So it just makes sense to use those and test out some of those ads there. For YouTube, they were a great channel. Short videos were a great channel for us to drive eyes on our product in the past. But currently, we've paused YouTube for the past month just so we can ramp up our streamers again and start to collect a lot of content, and we can start posting a lot of videos again. We have started running some streamed poker nights. So currently IC runs a weekly game night on Tuesdays, and the 100X podcast also runs a poker night on Fridays. And we're working with some other streamers to run games for the community as well. Some people who IC has brought on to the stream who have enjoyed our product has been good connection for us to talk to more streamers to host community game nights. For casino specifically, we're looking to bring on more streamers specifically in Latin America. This just because it covers a lot of our licensed areas that players can play in. For streamers, some of the stats that we're going to be tracking to measure the success of these campaigns. So spend would be like the stream rate of the streamers and the amount of total bonuses given out. We're tracking the new players through signups and who actually deposited. From there, we can determine our customer acquisition costs by getting our spend divided by new players. And then we're tracking the total volume of deposits from these players. And then from there, we can determine the average revenue per user and the lifetime value of these acquired users from these streams. Lastly, I just want to touch upon these stream poker nights again. We found that this format has been pretty effective for poker rather than just getting streamers to stream gameplay. This is more engaging, engages community. It also helps us connect with different Web3 teams and content creators, like some of the guests that IC has brought on, like Jonah Blake, Nikki, Raj P from Pudgy Gaming, Han Tao from Moku, and TQ, as well as people like Jesus Martinez or Classic Crypto and other content creators. And a lot of these videos and streams, they get a lot of comments from people saying that it's a pretty cool product and they want to get in. And so for poker, we'll be focusing on building IC's game up to be like a hustler casino experience and working with more creators to get some more of these casino nights started. Real quick, lastly on events, we're still continuing to run our weekly casino comps. We'll soon bring that to Bag.win. And once we get the Bag City casino up and running, we'll be looking to move our Diamond Hands Thursday event into there. With that, we can do the community Q&A. I know there were some submitted questions in the forum, so I'll go through that first. And I know there are some questions in the chat as well. If you want, you can also raise your hand and I'll bring you on stage if you want to ask a question that way. All right, let me stop sharing that. All right, so there are two submitted questions from the forum. The first question is from Silver Sig. He asks, it's two parts, when craps and when MTTs?
I can take this one. Perhaps I would say definitely not something that we would develop in-house, but potentially if it's provided by a third party games provider on SoftSwiss, we could integrate it quite easily. When it comes to MTTs, we're exploring the option of adding this directly on Bag.win. I would say it probably wouldn't be in the immediate future because the first step would be to add SNGs and then kind of create MTGs based on looping and stacking SNGs together. But I hope that answers the question. If you do find a craps game, Silver Sig, that you like that's covered by our aggregator, we're definitely happy to add it in whenever.
All right, next question here is from Capture Motion. There are 3 parts to this question. I'll go through it one by one. So the first one is, can a person enter the Bag City Casino to do other things than gamble? As in, like, can players from non-supported regions enter and just hang out?
I could take this one, I guess. I think initially it'll be very targeted towards the casino audience, where most interactions and games you can play and things like that will be for actual crypto. So it'll be similar to the Bag.win experience that I think will be geo-gated. But there's definitely the potential eventually to bring some free play into the mix or other mini games and things, so you can still come and be social and play some games without necessarily gambling potentially in the future. But yeah, like I mentioned, initially it'll be very focused around the specifically the casino experience.
Thank you, Spicy. The next part of this question is, any word on the Neo Tokyo marketing plans? I don't know if Ryan, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, I'm happy to take this one. What I will say there is that it's been far too long. We've gotten kind of the runaround with a few different folks there. We did see a governance proposal pass their DAO months ago, I think in the spring, that they would partner with us. And we've been trying to set up a game. We've produced an avatar for them. And it seems like, much like how I am currently making excuses, they continue to make excuses about why something is just currently blocking us from going live with it. So um, I think we have thought about whether it would be worthwhile to just exit the position in it, because we haven't made progress in the roughly a lot of progress in roughly the year that we've held the NFT, or how long's it been? Not 100% sure, but far too long. But we continue to feel like we're pretty close. So there's absolutely nothing technically blocking us, and we've done all the work to make it happen. So hopefully, any day now.
Thank you, Ryan. Then last part, the question is, does Blast look at Bag.win as a new entity or as DG rebranded with new product offerings?
I can take this one. I think they kind of view it more as like a completely new thing, even though they understand that it's the same team behind it. Because if you guys have been following their communications, they are really bullish on driving innovation in the mobile side of the DApp scene. And so their kind of main critique of our old offering prior to Bag.win was the fact that it was primarily desktop in Decentraland, which they repeatedly kind of pushed us on the nature of like the onboarding being very difficult for members of their community to figure out. Um, so yeah, to answer your question, they view Bag.win as separate because of the mobile optimization, PWA support, and soon to support their Blast PWA mobile wallet whenever they release that in Q4. But yeah, I think they're really excited about Bag.win, and it's been reflected in our silver ranking for our gold allocation due to the ability for players to interact with it via mobile.
All right, I'm gonna go through the chat here. I know some questions were answered in the chat, but I think it'd just be good just to bring it up again. So Manzir asked if it would be possible to know referral stats of how people like visited your link in the last 1, 7, or 30 days and see like the conversion rates for that.
Leo and I just actually had a call about this. Maybe Leo can address this because we were looking at how we can improve the rewards dashboard actually yesterday on a call. But maybe
Yeah,
an
so
update.
we haven't discussed that feature exactly. We have discussed adding a referral board leaderboard, but I don't think that solves exactly what you're referring to. It's something I can chat with the team to see how easy it would be to grab kind of conversion data and be able to present that. But I think the stuff we were thinking about initially was gamifying it a little more and adding a leaderboard that everyone can view and compete for the most referrals.
And the email notification to let you know when someone signs up with your link.
Yeah, totally. But I think what Manzier's calling out is understanding how that's if that would be for someone who's already accepted it. I think what they're looking for is understanding like the performance of their URL and how many clicks it's getting and kind of the conversion there.
Right. Makes sense.
Something we could definitely look into.
Next question comes from the Lord. He asked, how would you make sure people won't cheat and make multiple accounts for bonus amounts and such? I believe this is referring to lowering the KYC requirement, but let me know if that's incorrect, the Lord.
If this is referring to the bonus codes, those won't be abusable because they're going to be each like one-time use codes. I'm not sure if that's what he was referring to, but that's kind of the defense there.
I think it was for the KYC, lowering the KYC requirement. As in, like, if someone could spin up a bunch of accounts and abuse the bonus and withdrawal.
So
Got
that's
it. Got it.
that's part of the reason we're putting in a 1 business day processing fee. We'll be monitoring all withdrawals of non KYC users and doing our normal checks to make sure there isn't any abuse happening with those withdrawals. And so it'll be noted in the UI when you're processing a withdrawal that it is being reviewed and pending. And we have some tools in the back end to review all that and make sure there isn't any funny business happening.
All right, scrolling through the chat here. Not a question, but there are some comments about being able to add like bonuses to for successful referrals. I don't know if Leo or Miles have any thoughts on that.
We won't be adding that just by default due to people kind of being able to spin up a bunch of accounts and claim those. That being said, I mean, anyone has the ability to earn a bonus by just simply depositing and getting that deposit bonus. And we are going to go pretty aggressive with bonus codes via our streamers. So we do expect a large percentage of the people that want to sign up via a referral from a streamer to have a bonus code ready for them to sign up with. That being said, this is just like a building block that's going live, literally tomorrow. and it's a V1, and so definitely expect us to iterate and add more functionality to this feature, given like the feedback and success and failures of this V1. But I am super excited just to get it out there because we need to give the people showcasing our product, including everyone here as well, to the tools to be able to onboard their friends. So yeah, potentially in the future we could explore some type of rewards to community members in the form of like a bonus code or some type of bonus code allocation to community members, given that they are using those to invite friends in. That definitely seems like a good idea, but just definitely need to make sure it's sound in terms of not being abused.
All right, the last question that I see in the chat, sorry if I skipped over anyone, it's from Godly Hephaestus. Are we going to be able to play with Bag on Bag.win? I saw Ryan answer in the chat. I can just read the answer here. Ryan provided ASAP, but there's no ETA currently. We do have to convince each specific game provider to add Bag as a currency on their end. So there is some a lot of work to be done there.
Yeah, we can circle back with the games providers that we have currently and see kind of what that process exactly looks like in terms of a timeline, and I'll get back to you guys on that one.
All right, not seeing any new questions. If I missed you, let me know. I see people typing in the chat though. As a reminder, if you did come in late, this call is recorded, so you can go back and watch any parts you miss. And we will also be providing there's a link to the presentation, so you can look over the slides yourself as well. But yeah, if you have any questions, drop it in the chat. Raise your hand. I can bring you up. We got one question here from Dark Noodle. He's asking about the gold drops for Bag. Will it be a weekly, and for how long? The activity.
Yeah. I was interpreting the for how long question as how long will we continue to do it? But correct me if I'm wrong. The criteria is in the last 7 days you need to have played. So that's just a yes no. Played any casino game or poker with crypto. So that's just to ensure these aren't like dormant whale accounts that aren't actually even necessarily like that interested in gold. We want to distribute this to active players. And then we're distributing it in proportion to your holdings of Bag. And if someone called out, we'll count the Wasabi Bag as well on Blast. And I mean, for how long is a good question. The Blast team is encouraging us to do it this way, and we do think it makes sense to use some of these funds to directly encourage the holding of Bag. Makes a lot of sense. So the DAO could decide to end this technically at any time, but at the moment we don't have an end date for it. We anticipate continuing this, for the coming months throughout phase 2.
All right, next question is from Koopa. Is it possible that more coins and networks will be added for deposits in the future? We did cover this earlier, but Leo or Miles, if you wanted to touch base on it again.
Yeah, definitely. The answer is yes. We're trying to make it as easy as possible for people to get funds on the platform, and that includes adding more networks and coins, and even changing the way we're doing crypto deposits in the first place by just spinning up addresses per user, so they could just send it from like a Coinbase or Binance account on one of the networks supported, and then it triggers the deposit as it hits that address and listens for that event emission. So basically the same way it works on, you know, depositing to a centralized exchange like Binance or Coinbase.
A follow-up question here from Dark Noodle about the gold drops is how would you prevent whales to misuse the drops?
Not sure what that means, misuse the drop. If someone is holding 100,000 bag on blast and they play, and someone else is holding 1 million or 10 million, um, the design, and this is important for preventing Sybil, it should be proportional. You don't want to incentivize someone who has 10 million bag to distribute that across 10 accounts so that they can earn. So I would say that we, by the past proposal, will distribute it in proportion to how much bag you have.
All right, see a lot of typing in the chat. I'll give it a minute here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you want to be incentivizing the buying and holding of bag. I think that's really important. In the past, we probably were not super efficient with the like 1 to 3x multiplier on gameplay, or at least we were incentivizing two different things with like the same mechanism. So directly incentivizing each, like everyone earns via gameplay. And if you're a brand new user who just came in and made your first deposit, you're earning via your gameplay at the same rate as someone who holds 10 million bag. And we should just incentivize people to play. I think that makes sense. And then separately, we can come up with a number that makes sense. The 10% figure came, I think, as kind of an example of a potential starting point from the Blast team, but that's definitely up for being revisited. And so, yeah, I think it makes a ton of sense for us to incentivize it this way. And also, if profits can keep trending positively, we're going to be posting weekly purchases of bag again. I think I can appreciate talking with investors, folks on the team, that it's harder to be as bullish when we were posting week after week some of these losses. Even though volume was increasing, we had some poor variance. Although, of course, we are always feeling bullish about the roadmap that we have and about Bag City, just that it's going to be probably more attractive to investors and people hopping in, people buying bag, as we demonstrate week to week that our profits are increasing.
I think there's a follow-up question on that. Is there a holding time requirement to be eligible? I don't believe there's no holding requirement, but there's just a playing requirement each week.
Yeah, I mean, I guess technically they could like buy a bunch of bag on Thursday and then like sell it all on Saturday and then buy it all back on Thursday and then sell it all on Saturday and buy it on, like, I'm not sure why you would do that though. That's probably like that's not necessarily not investment advice, but I don't think that's like an exploit or a super sound way to try and swing trade it. Yeah, GR makes a good point that would actually increase our volume. That would look good and make us some LP fees.
All right, we got 3 minutes left here. Any last questions from the audience? Drop it in the chat now. If not, Miles, any last words you will want to say before we close this one out?
Yeah, I can say a few last words. Just wanted to say we really appreciate everyone joining the roundtable, giving the feedback in the chat, and as I said during my update, we are confident that we've reached a turning point with the product. We really are excited for these next releases, but at the same time are excited to actually utilize the features that we're delivering in these releases to drive growth. And I think we've been kind of alluding to this point in time for several months, as some point in the future, and it's finally here, given the amazing work that the team has been able to complete in these last several months and quarters. So yeah, look forward to continuing to ship, but also to really leverage the tools that we are going live with this week and next, around kind of the gift funds, bonus codes, Bag City Casino, et cetera, to spread more awareness and get more users in the door and drive more revenue, so that we can continue purchasing Bag at the massive discount it's currently valued at. So looking forward to that and posting all those updates in Discord. As I said, really appreciate everyone joining and for supporting us. Really excited for these next few months.